my name is Martin. Welcome to the new WeaselWood project. In today's episode, I'll show you the making of my router table, as you can see in the picture in the background. It's not completely self-built, but at least hand-modified. Let's get started. As base frame for my router table, I used my small Festool MFT table for the Capex meter saw. It's a nice sized, solid and foldable table, perfect for a router table. I will also drill the mounting holes for the Capex in the new top plate to further on use the table with the saw. But first of all, put the saw away and start with the new top plate. For the new top plate I used some 18mm plywood. As usually I bought it with a few millimeters oversize and cut it to final size by myself. Better than mark all the holes manual, I used the original top plate as drilling template for the mounting holes and marked the holes with a 20mm Forstner drill bit. I used my drill press to drill the holes. There's a touch of irony in the fact that the last thing I made with my old router table was my new router table. I used my chamfer mill to deburr the holes and gave them a nice bevel. After the holes were deburred, I set the mill a millimeter higher and put a bevel around the edges of the plate. To mount the plate on the frame, I used some M6 helicoils as in the original MFT plate. To make sure that the helicoil starts straight, I drilled a hole in a piece of wood and screwed the coil through this hole. The plate is finished that far. We can mount it back on the base frame. All screws fit perfectly and it looks like a table again. It seems like the capex never looked better on the table. Even the mounting fitted perfect. Later on I want to install a router lift, but I haven't decided which one I want to use. Anyway, I had a piece of 5mm aluminium sheet metal laying around and I used this as a placeholder. So I marked it a bit smaller as the common router lifts and cut it. The only machine I have to cut sheet metal is my jigsaw with a metal saw blade. The first time I had to use my metal base runner. I don't know which alloy this is, but let me tell you, it was a pain in the ass to cut. The belt sander came to rescue and made the edges smooth. I also put a nice radius on the corners. After the adapter plate had the finished size, I marked the position on the top plate. To mill the fold for the plate, I set up my routing template to the size of the adapter plate and made a cut slightly deeper than the thickness of the aluminum. The fold should fit perfect. Now I moved on to the cutout for the router. I shrink the template 20 mm and clamped it concentric to the fold. Then I made the cutout in 3 steps with a 10 mm end mill. bit of cleanup and a slight touch with the sandpaper and the plate fit the fold perfectly. I marked a hole for the mill and the mounting holes on the adapter plate to drill them. For nice centered holes I used the tip of a tap drill to punch the markings. For the drilling of the center hole I used a 50mm hole cutter. I never used it for aluminium, so I was curious whether it actually worked, but it cut very well. Glasses and a drop of WD-40 also helped a bit. The mounting holes weren't that big of a deal. I used countersunken bolts to ensure a nice flush surface. The adapter plate is slight beneath the surface of the plywood, and I used some masking tape to bring it up flush to the surface. Then I drilled the mounting holes in the plate and fixed it with bolts and nuts. Last but not least, I installed my router. Another nice little addition to my shop is finished. Well guys, my router table is finished that far. It still fits the purpose as table for the Capex meter saw. I have the same drillings as in the original top plate from the smaller MFT table. As soon as I decide which router lift I want to use, I will capture it I capture the installation of it on video and show it to you. The only thing I want to mention is, as you may or may not noticed, we don't have a fence now. My first idea was to mill in some slots, put in some T-nut rails or something to make a wooden fence or something along those lines. But then I thought by myself, well, that's still a MFT table from Festool, and I have a lot of accessories to fit on this table, and I dug around in my various boxes of accessories and I found something that's pretty functional, and I want to show this to you. So that's what I came up with as fence for my router table. I have here the swivel unit from the bigger MFT table attached to the length fence from the Capex, and the table extensions from the Capex to mount the fence solid to the table. You can adjust the distance between the middle and the fence very exactly, and after you have adjusted everything, you can mount it very rigid, very solid to the table with the extension ears, and you have a very strong fence to use it for your milling options. Addition to this, we have the end stops for serial milling. If you have more than one piece, you can set your two end stops. The second one I haven't attached now, but you know what I mean. and set your stop points for the pieces. So that's the fence I came up with. Everything stuff that's laying around here. It's very fast attached and disassembled, and you can still use these things for its original purpose without any modifications on it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to use this Routertable in various future projects you will see on this channel. I hope you like this project thus far. Yeah, that's everything I could say today. Have a nice day. I hope you support me with a subscription and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And